SilkWings are one of the 10 extant dragon tribes in Wings of Fire. They are very colorful and are some of the most pacifistic dragons, to the point where they may be obligate herbivores, but I'm not too sure about that. It hasn't been confirmed as canon yet. They are most known for their unique ability. While they cannot breathe fire like a traditional dragon, they can spin silk, like the silk moths that their wings resemble. There is another creature besides moths that can spin silk: spiders. Spiders are very different from moths, being carnivorous and feared by approximately 6.1% of the global population. So what if SilkWings were like spiders instead of moths? Of course, that concept has been done before, so I'm going to change it up a little. Stay tuned to find out how. Before we get started, if you're new to this channel, please think about subscribing. I regularly post both Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats content, so you'll never be bored. And to my current subscribers, thank you so much for supporting me. I wouldn't have gone here without y'all. Now, as I was saying, a lot of people have made the connection between SilkWings and spiders before. Even if they haven't made an entire Subtribe outfit, they likely have made at least one or two OCs. Tweety Sutherland herself at one time was even planning on making a tribe based off of spiders. So I decided to look into different types of spiders. At first, I was only looking at poisonous ones, and ones inhabiting rainforests, as I wanted them to live in the poison jungle. Then I realized that the poison jungle wasn't the only quote-unquote uninhabited area on the Pantalian map. There are also these strange hills on the upper left corner of the map. I was pretty much convinced we would go there in Arc 3, but that never ended up happening. Fortunately, that means that there's a whole lot of empty space to put my tribe. So what type of spiders live in areas with little trees? The trapdoor spider. Though the trapdoor spider is native to North America and Pantala is pretty obviously based on Africa, I still decided they would be a good fit. Besides, Pyria is pretty Americas inspired, and yet it still has a character named Ostrich. I can do a bit of blending. With the background out of the way, let's move on to the subtribe itself. First of all, the appearance. Alright, this is Later Rogan from a few days later. I originally had an entirely different descriptor for spider SilkWings, but I drew it and well, just look at the results. This is literally just a SilkWing. So here's the new descriptor, complete with some new special stuff. Spider SilkWings have some Hivewing blood in them. They tend to be much more gray than SilkWings and even have some black on them. They are often mostly brown with multicolored spots. Those multicolored spots are sometimes covered up while hunting in order to aid in camouflage. Spider SilkWings are more spiky than the average SilkWing as well. They're much more bulky too. Spider wings have thick armored scales around their legs to help with burrowing and to prevent it crushing in case of a cave-in. Their spines are thick and spined, which helps to protect from attacks from the air from other dragons, and possibly other predators. They have shorter antennae than most SilkWings, however they are still functional, if a bit diminished. Their protective face scales around their mouth have also changed to create sort of fangs. They help them bite into prey, and also they just look cool. Spider SilkWings have a slightly hunched posture due to living in the caves most of the time. Spinal deformities like curved spines are more common in spider wings than any other tribe. Only 15% of spider wings have wings. The rest have wing buds, and they do not have a chrysalis phase. If they ever needed to fly, they would just make a silk parachute, similar to real-life spiders and what Luna did in the Lost Continent. Next, what abilities does the tribe possess? Spider SilkWings can obviously use silk. They don't have as fine a silk as regular SilkWings, and their silk cannot be made into tapestries. Instead, most of their silk is used for construction of their dens. They have antennae, however their senses aren't as sharp as SilkWings. Despite that, they have made a network of webs running across the hills. They use a form of Morse code in order to communicate messages across the webs. They have armored scales for reasons that I will discuss later. These scales protect them against predators like lions and crushing cave-ins. They also help them bury deep into earth. From their hiving ancestry, 20% of the population has a stinger that causes paralysis. 10% have a different type of weapon, likely because of recent hiving ancestry. But what is the history of spider SilkWings? Spiderwings are the descendants of beetlewings who lived in the hills of northern Pantala. While SilkWings lost their armored scales, the spiderwings kept them because of their digging. Only recently, after the Tree Wars, was hivewing blood added to the gene pool. The hivewings who came into the hills were either trying to get out of the draft, disliked Queen Wasp's new policies, were disbelievers in Clearsight's, or thought Wasp was lying about Clearsight's wishes. Some SilkWings moved as well, however most of them went to the poison jungle where they found more comfort among the trees. During the tree wars, the spider SilkWings stayed out of the war. When Wasp tried to attack them, they simply holed up in their burrows and used trapdoor tactics to ambush her army. Eventually, she gave up. After that, they decided to create the webwork, or network of webs, in order to make sure that they wouldn't be attacked like that again, and to convey messages of danger across the hills easier. The spider SilkWings, though they are a small tribe, have a queen. Their current queen is Queen Fang. Like almost every other dragon tribe, a daughter of the queen can challenge them for the throne. In the spider SilkWing culture, they prize freedom. At the age of 6, dragonettes leave home and join settlements with other dragonettes who've just developed their wings. Then, around the age of 10, they tend to pair up and head out on their own. Dragonettes at settlements are often enlisted to help repair the webways. If they take a particular interest in them, they might become a formal technician or an engineer. There are currently 5 settlements recognized by the queen: Sunrise, Sunset, Rain, Constellation, and Snow. Every settlement has their own culture and traditions. Settlements are often talked about among older spider SilkWings like college. The children of the queen are often split up among the settlements to be raised. This is so that they get to know what the dragons are like and aren't raised in the seclusion of the palace where they don't get any outside opinions. Spider SilkWings prefer to live underground. Their houses most resemble hobbit holes. They have not tried living in the caves in inner Pantala, as they prefer to use homes that are the result of their own hard work, and also consider the caves spooky. In Spiderwing legend, the caves are haunted by ancient spider SilkWings who died when digging the caves. It is told that they dug to something so horrible that they abandoned those caves and fled to the hills. When it comes to relations with other tribes, they don't have many. They dislike other SilkWings, regarding them as cowardly and tame. They dislike the Hivewings, viewing them as too oppressive and authoritarian. They like the Poison Wings and admire their fighting spirit. The two tribes bond over their love of traps, and there are exchange programs between them even after the tree wars. Some spider SilkWings have decided to take up permanent residence in the poison jungle. They dislike the Sapwings, however respect them more than they respect the SilkWings, and Hivewings for their ability to live in the poison jungle, and their skills in swiftly avoiding all of its traps and dangers. After the effects of Arc 3, they were invited to have a seat on the SilkWing Council. They accepted, but that doesn't mean they have to like other SilkWings just yet. They are currently developing relations with the Skywings and Sandwings due to similar tribe values. Here's the final base, plus a few illustrations on what spider SilkWings could look like. If you want to make one, feel free to do so. A link to the base will be added in the description. Just credit me. If you want to see me do any more tribes, just comment them down below. And if you liked this video, feel free to subscribe. I make Wings of Fire and Warrior Cats videos pretty often, and your support would mean a lot to me. And to those who are already subscribed, thank you for your continued support. I wouldn't have gone here without y'all. Peace, Rogan out.